My Wednesday fam, have you ever met someone that can find the negative in anything? Yep. Them negative Nellies, them doubting Thomases. You could hand them a winning lottery ticket, and their response would be, thanks, but no thanks. After taxes, probably won't have much left anyway. Wow. Some people will find something to complain about. And if you spend too much time around that type of negativity, I guarantee you it will start rubbing off on you. I love this story. There were these two guys. One was positive, saw the good in everything. The other one, negative. Always had something to complain about. One day, the positive guy discovered something that he just knew his old pessimistic negative friend wouldn't have anything to complain about. Found out his dog could walk on water. So the next time they went hunting, he couldn't wait to show his bird dog off. So they hit a duck. Duck falls into the pond. Bird dog scampers over that water, grabs that duck, brings it back in, and the positive guy is just grinning and just smiling. Looks over at the negative guy. He just shaking his head with a frown on his face. Positive guy's like, so what you think about my dog? Negative guy's like, what a waste of a dog. Can't even swim. If that's not proof that some people will complain about anything, I don't know what is. Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The people around you should lift you up, not pull you down. If you're hanging around negative people, eventually their energy will start to drain you. And their doubts will become your doubts. Their fears will become your fears. Their complaints will become your complaints. You need to hang around people that push you, that encourage you, that bring out the best in you. Because negativity is contagious. But guess what? Positive energy is just as contagious. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So your mindset creates your reality. It's impossible to make each and every day a Wednesday if your mindset is that of a negative nature. And as a coach, I've coached many players who were suffering from a severe case of stinking thinking. In the words of the late, great Zig Ziglar. But this one case, way worse than others. She would miss a few shots, head would go down, and I hear her say to herself, I'm horrible, I suck. Well, I didn't like her tone because I understood that if you keep telling yourself you suck, then more than likely you will suck. So I ran over to her and I said, I need you to say the first syllable in the word success. She was like, what? I said, I need you to say the first syllable in the word success. She thought about it for a second. And she said, suck? And I said, exactly. Don't you get it? The suck always comes before the success. So anybody that's ever been great at something, they had to suck at it before they became successful at it. So I need you to embrace the suck and stop trying to erase the suck. You are a shooter, and shooters shoot. Shooters have short-term memory, and shooters believe in themselves. So I told her, the only thing that you can control is being down and ready and taking a good fundamental form shot each and every time. And I further challenged her. I said, every time you say something negative about yourself, you owe yourself 20 push-ups. She's like, huh? I said, every time you say something negative about yourself, drop down and give yourself 20. She was like, ooh. Jim Rohn also said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. See, by holding her accountable for our negative self-talk, I forced her to take responsibility for her mindset. See, accountability builds strength, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. See, she was starting to realize that her words had power, and it was up to her to use them wisely. Case in point, we was playing in a game, and she missed 5 shots in a row. And you know what happened. Head went down. I went over to her and said, what's your head down for? She said, I'm not shooting the basketball anymore. I said, yes, you will. You will shoot that basketball some more, because failure is not final. Failure is just feedback. It gives you an opportunity